If you haven't heard of or found out about Accent Comfort Services before, just give us a shot. We go out on second opinions quite routinely, and we find the difference in the repair cost or the recommendations for a replacement are much different. And because we listen to what the customers have to say and what their particular situation is. Maybe there's some situations in your family where funds are tight, which they are for a lot of people right now. Well, you can't afford putting a new furnace in or a new air conditioning system, but you can afford the repair. That's the best thing for you at this time. That's what we try and recommend. We don't always recommend replacing the equipment. On the other hand, if it's a situation where the likelihood that it's going to fail again, the likelihood that it's going to cost you a lot of money and energy costs to operate the system, then obviously you have to make a decision on what's best for you and your family and maybe replace the equipment. If the situation arises where you need options, it's fix first and then replace secondary.
The goal of service techs have all been told is to keep in mind we want to be fair with the customer, we want to be honest with the customer, but they have to remember you're a guest in their home. Treat them as such. Okay? They don't have to have you there. They pay for you to be there. They should be treated that way. Wear your booties. Make sure you clean up after yourself. You know, if you scuff a wall, ask to clean the wall. If you drop something, clean it up. You know, basically, you're a guest. Remember that. Mm-hmm. You know, and thank them for being a guest in their home. They don't have to come here. They can go anywhere they want.
I did have a customer send us a note and thank us because we had worked in the upstairs section of their home. We had had a register in their home, and of course there was dust that, you know, we vacuumed as we did it. Some of it got on the furniture, but our guys went out and dusted the furniture for them and vacuumed all the carpeting, the steps, the handrails, and everything when we were finished. And she just raved about it. Because she had people coming to her home that night. It was on a Friday, and she really felt that that was service above and beyond what was asked because she didn't need another headache or problem in her home.
There is a woman in Huntersville. She was elderly. Her husband had just passed within 2 years. It reminded me very much of my grandmother, so there was a connection there. We went out there. She needed a whole new unit, and she was completely confused. All she knows is it was working one day, and now it's the middle of the winter, and she's cold. When she needed the new unit, she asked, you know, what should I do? And again, it was that there's it's an aura in the room when you there's a trust factor there when you relax and let their guard down. And I advised her, I says, the best thing that you can do is spend a little bit of money up front so that the longevity of the home and the energy savings will pay for it over X period of time. She says, go with a dual fuel heat pump. All of this is new technology, new experience for her, and explain to her that, you know, heat pumps have their advantages and gas-fired appliances have their advantages. This is a mix of both. She did it, she trusted me, and I could say we got at least 4 phone calls from her bragging and cannot believe how much money that has saved her over bills in gas bills over the time that she's had the unit.
We had a customer in Hickory that just moved into town. They didn't know anybody from California, and their home that they purchased had many, many problems with it, and they needed a new air conditioning system and new plumbing work done. And we were able to get some of the cost reduced from the people that they were working with through our quotes and the work that we did. And we did the work for them before the Labor Day weekend when they had family and friends coming in for a housewarming. And they're going to be customers for life because we did a good job for them and we kind of aided them and educated them through the process. We had an elderly lady that lived in Greenville, South Carolina. Unfortunately, she had just lost her husband a year in advance, and she didn't have any children to help her. And we went in, and I had talked to her on the phone, and we were putting a new furnace in for her. And she had asked our installers if they could move a few pieces of furniture from the house to the garage so that she might have some more room. And we did that for her, and she wrote me a nice note thanking us for the service that we provided and how courteous they were, and that she didn't have a man around the house anymore because her husband had passed, but our guys stepped up and did the right thing by our customer.